welcome to my channel. This is Kendra, and today I'm sharing the assembly process of all 15 cards from Kendra's Card Challenge 23. For my cards, I'm using the Mermaid Dreams paper pack and the Ephemera from the Not Too Shabby Shop. This is included in the July of 2026 box of the month. And I recently shared a video on how to cut the papers for each of the 6 sheets of paper or the pattern papers that are included in the cutting guide PDF that you can receive for free when you visit my Patreon page. That video is available to my patrons, and I will have a link to my Patreon site down in the description box. So that part has already been completed, and I've also cut my mats and layers. So I have everything ready to assemble. Now, the Not Too Shabby Shop is a super sponsor for Challenge 23 and is giving away a $25 gift certificate as one of the prizes that you can win for participating in the challenge this quarter. Now, if you're new here or have never heard about my quarterly card making challenges, I share a PDF that contains cutting guides and card sketches that show how to cut 6 sheets of 6" by 6" pattern paper efficiently to create 15 cards from the card sketches. This PDF is available to download for free during the quarter from my Patreon page. By creating cards using the challenge, you can have a chance to win prizes valued at over $1,000. For more information, visit kendrascardchallenges.com. And I'll talk more about this as we get into the video. Here's a quick look at all of the ephemera that is included in the Mermaid Dreams ephemera pack from the Not Too Shabby Shop. Off camera, I prepped all 15 cards and have all of the pieces in separate cellophane bags ready to be assembled. I decided what I wanted to use for my focal points, and I'm using ephemera for all of these cards and a few of the sentiments from my June of 2026 bonus printable, which is a digital card making kit called Electric Aquarium. This printable is available to download in my Patreon shop, which I'll have linked below in the description box. So let's go ahead and get started. This part of the video has been sped up, and I will place the sketch that I'm using up on the screen. Now, this is sketch 1. For many of the cards, I'll be using sentiments that were cut out using the Ultimate Sentiments dies that were created by Lynn with LV Handcrafted, and they're available for purchase at the Not Too Shabby Shop. Now, for this card, you'll want to add your strips to the smaller square layer first, so you can trim off the excess hanging off the side before you glue it down to the next square layer. You'll also see me using these peel-off sticker strips from Love from Lizzie throughout this video. These are great for making different patterns stand out. And the ephemera that I picked for this card is this beautiful mermaid sitting in a bath, and the sentiment says, "Have a fantastic day." I also used some flat back pearls as embellishments to finish it off. For sketch 2, this one has 6 different 1/2" strips, and when I created the sketch, it was hard to show these strips crisscrossing, but that was the original idea. So you see me arranging these strips for quite some time, actually, just trying to weave them and getting them placed just right. But the biggest tip that I have for this card is to start with your corner pieces and then space them out accordingly. So once you get them lined up how you want them, the easiest way that I have found to keep them in place is to use low tack tape, or you can even use washi tape, or if you have Glad press and seal, that works too. But you want to put that on top to be able to flip them over to add glue to the back to attach it to that top layer. Now you will have to trim off the excess before gluing this piece down on the next layer. So start with this first and then glue your other layers. And if you accidentally glue a layer down that's not quite centered, you can always trim off a sliver or two like I had to do. So for the focal point on this card, I'm using this mermaid holding a sea turtle, and the sentiment says, "See you soon." And then to finish this off, I added some glitter enamel dots. Sketch 3 features 7 different half-inch strips in all the different patterns, with the same pattern, paper A, being on each end. Now this one doesn't have any layers, but you can add them if you'd like. I'm just gluing these straight to the card base. And then as for the focal point, I decided to use this purse, and I'm going to be popping that up with some foam tape. And I'm going to stamp a sentiment on the inside of this card later, so I'm not going to be adding one to the front. Figured I would save one where I can stamp the sentiment that I need at the time of the occasion. But this is a pretty straightforward sketch, sketch number 3. Now sketch 4 has 2 large strips from paper A and quite a few layers. You can emboss the white that's shown on the sketch there. It does have a note to emboss that layer, but you don't have to, but it does add a little bit more interest to the card when you do that. But this one, like I said, has 2 large paper strips, and I'll be sharing a way to turn this sketch into a fun fold card in an upcoming video, so make sure you stay tuned for that. But this one's pretty straightforward. Now for the focal point, I'm using these ocean rocks and the sentiment that says "Friends Forever, Shore to Shore." And I'm adding some bubbles in the corners, and I'm popping those up with some foam tape. And I'm going to pop the sentiment up as well. And then I add a little glitter enamel dot, and that finishes off card number 4. The next sketch, this is sketch 5, and this has 5 different patterns. 4 that go across the top vertically, and then 1 longer one that goes below those. But the half circles go below the longer horizontal strip. And now I put the half circles below each of the same pattern, but you could switch these up if you wanted to. And for the focal point on this card, I'm using a circle sentiment that I punched out from my Electric Aquarium bonus printable. And this says, "You're a star." And for the decorative piece, I'm using a starfish. And of course, an enamel dot to finish this off. This is probably one of my favorites out of this batch of cards. I just love all the different patterns, and I am adding those Love from Lizzie peel off stickers here. It's got a little bit of glitter, so that just kind of makes each of those patterns, it separates them and it makes them pop. But I really like this card. So the rest of the sketches that I have, except for sketch 15, they're pretty straightforward. I don't really have a whole lot. You can follow the sketch and figure out how to put those together pretty easy. But while I finish up this card and we start the next few cards, I'll tell you a little bit more about my challenge in case you're new. This quarterly card making challenge is all about maximizing your pattern paper, transforming 6 sheets of 6" by 6" paper into 15 gorgeous A2 size cards. Now this challenge runs from July 1st through September 30th of 2026, and the prizes you can win are amazing. It's a total value of over $1,000. We have a lot of company prize sponsors. And as mentioned before, one of those prizes is a $25 gift certificate to the Not Too Shabby Shop, which is the products that I'm using for these cards today. But first, you'll need to download the printable from my Patreon page. You can download it for free during the contest dates when you join as a free member. And to join as a free member, you just need to enter your email address. Then you will want to pick 6 coordinating pattern papers. I like to use papers that come in a paper pack because they already coordinate, but you'll cut your papers according to the cutting guides and organize your pieces using the numbered card sketches. Then you'll pick out some coordinating cardstock for the layers and your card bases, and then decorate your cards. Once you have all 15 cards, you'll want to take a photo of the entire set and upload it to the InLinks party for the month. There's a different InLinks party for July, August, and September. And on the front of the PDF, there are QR codes for each of those InLinks parties for the month. So make sure you're scanning the correct one depending on the month that you're entering it for. And then once you get signed into InLinks, you'll want to make sure that you include your name and your country of residence in the photo caption. That is super important. This officially enters you into the contest, and there are both monthly and quarterly prizes. And you can enter up to 3 times per quarter or once per month with a different set of cards for each entry. If you'd like to see your cards showcased right here on YouTube or in my weekly Patreon newsletter, you can also share your 15 card photo in the showcase album for the month in the Kendra's Card Challenges Facebook group. And I'll have all that linked down below in the description box. And then also don't forget to use the hashtags Kendra's Card Challenge 23 and KCC 23 when you share on social media. You can also upload photos of your individual cards into the sketch photo albums for a chance to win one of the sketch prizes. Monthly winners will be announced on my YouTube channel right before our monthly live streams, and our grand quarterly winners will be announced right after the challenge ends. So please watch my introduction video for this challenge that explains all about it in a little bit more detail. Plus, I show you how to enter to win prizes. Now, this video is linked in the description box below. So now I'm going to put on some music while I show the assembly process for the remaining cards through sketch 14, and then I'll come back when we get to card 15.
Like you, be strong to hold the powers of the sun. To dream, believe in strength. Now I'm the only one, only one. I was an ordinary boy until I broke the rules. My life destroyed, a life destroyed. Until I walk awake, scream my mind, I shout, the ground shakes. How much can I take? My mind will break. Will it break? Can I take? Can I be your superhero? It's the first time of today, to dream, believe. You are the strength, you're all I need. Oh, gonna give it a shot, only one of me, to shield you all from the enemy. You're a superhero.
we made it to sketch 15. So for this one, you will want to follow the instructions on the sketch. You'll see that I started with gluing down the 2 pattern paper strips on that bottom layer there. And I'm just going to trim this off because I glued it on there a little uncentered. Also adding some of those Love from Lizzie peel-off stickers here just to separate those patterns. Now you will want to take a scrap piece of paper that measures 2.5 by 1.5 inches and glue these 1/2 inch strips onto that scrap. You'll need to trim off the edges of your strips if they're a little bit too skinny, or trim off the edges of the scrap piece, and then you will take your paper trimmer and cut it at a diagonal from the bottom left corner to the top right corner. And once you have this in 2 pieces, you'll attach it to the layer that measures 2.5 by 3 3/4 inches. So once you have those on there, I'm again adding some peel-off stickers here to this, but you can add whatever you want for the focal point in your sentiment. But I decided to go with the mermaid tail and some shells. So you will see me placing that kind of at a diagonal, but the tail's sticking straight up, and I'm going to be putting that sentiment strip along the diagonal. And to finish this card off, I'm adding some glitter enamel dots, and I really, really like how this one turned out. Actually, I like how they all turned out. I just love all of the colors in this paper pack. It's so pretty, and of course, I love mermaids. But here is one last look at all of the 15 cards that I made with the Mermaid Dreams paper pad and ephemera from the Not Too Shabby Shop. You'll have to let me know which card is your favorite down in the comments below. I'd like to give a big thank you to the Not Too Shabby Shop for allowing me to get creative with these beautiful products. I just love their pattern papers and ephemera. They're perfect to use with my card challenges, and I can knock out a bunch of cards in a short amount of time. So I hope you'll check out the online store linked in the description box below. And a huge thank you to all of the other company prize sponsors who have generously donated to this challenge. I really hope you'll join us for a chance to win some amazing prizes. I also want to thank my patron supporters who helped to make this challenge possible for everyone to enjoy. I hope you'll consider becoming a paid patron if you're not already. Thank you so much for watching my video today. I hope you will subscribe to my channel, and I hope you'll follow me on my other socials and join me again for my next video. Have a wonderful day and happy crafting!